The Hong Kong Sevens, the premier rugby sevens tournament in the world, kicks off next Friday at Hong Kong Stadium. While China has taken part in the past and even won the bowl in 2006, they failed to finish in the top 3 in the HSBC Asian Sevens Series last year, which means they will miss out on this year's tournament, the national team's most important annual event since it first attended in 1998. The men's team also missed out on qualifying for the most recent Rugby Sevens World Cup in Moscow this June, meaning the focus now turns to the 2016 Olympics in Rio de Janeiro. Since the IOC announced the inclusion of Rugby Sevens for the 2016 Games back in 2009, the sport has received much more attention from regional sports authorities. It has also been added as a formal event to the Chinese National Games. There are 12 provinces currently working on the sport's development in China, with 12 men's and 11 women's teams. 6 of each will participate in the national games in August after qualification rounds. Shandong, Anhui, and Jiangsu are pioneers in their field and have taken teams to Rugby Sevens powerhouses Fiji and New Zealand for training while also popularizing the sport in middle schools. The Shandong women's Rugby Sevens team has trained in New Zealand under the tutelage of New Zealand coach Scott Pearce.
You can imagine if any of these nations really get an idea of how to play this game and drive it, then they're going to be powerful pretty quick.
And the Chinese women might already be there.
And they beat Waikato, who are pretty strong, and they beat them twice on the day, and they lost only 1 game. So their women are definitely more a medal chance than the men.
But there's still a long road ahead. The biggest problems facing China's national teams right now are a limited talent pool and a tight training budget. According to Zhang Zhiqiang, former national sevens team captain, who is now head coach, China has 2,000 registered players, while England has more than 700,000. And almost all of China's rugby players used to be in athletics and basketball, and switched over to rugby after failing to stand out in their former sports. As far as financial support is concerned, the national team is allocated only 600,000 yuan, or about $95,000 US, for travel every year, which means fewer overseas tournaments. Other than the Hong Kong Sevens, the team can only afford to compete in the Asian Sevens Series, missing out on valuable opportunities to play against and learn from top international teams. There is hope, though. In the 2011 Asian Five Nations Division III final, China came back to beat Guam and earned promotion to Division II. After the game, Zhang was overwhelmed by his team's effort.
Today's match was a lot like the weather. In the first half, the wind was blowing terribly and we were playing pretty bad. In the second half, the weather settled down and we also settled down and took control. The reason for this swing is that we have a very young team. We're not so experienced and we didn't have a lot of time to prepare coming in. The young guys were also pretty nervous, but in the second half, everyone settled down and found the necessary strength to help us win.
With that kind of perseverance, China has the potential to improve. And with their eye on the 2016 Olympics, they'll have to weather the current storm if they want to win a medal.